Chairman King, thank you. Ranking Member Daines, appreciate the time to get a chance to be in front of you today to be able to speak in support of Senate Bill 3543. It is a bill to establish the historic Greenwood District, the Black Wall Street National Monument in the state of Oklahoma. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to submit a letter of support from the historic Greenwood District Black Wall Street National Monument coalitions into the record. Thank you. I do appreciate some of the leaders that were a part of pulling this letter together, and all the work that goes into it are here in the room today as well to be able to be here in support of what's actually happening. At the end of last year, Senator Booker and I introduced a bill to designate the historic Greenwood District of North Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre took place. We wanted to designate that as a national monument. Each year, including just a very few weeks, on May the 31st and June the 1st, Oklahoma and the nation paused to reflect on the 1921 race massacre that left that community in absolute ruins. Although Greenwood in North Tulsa lost almost everything on those terrible summer days 100 years ago, the community remains relentlessly devoted to turning tragedy into triumph. They remain a beacon for our culture, opportunity, and prosperity, and they're absolutely committed to the future. While the community is committed to the future, we should, as a nation, also remember our past and learn from it. North Tulsa remains a place of light and hope in the community that show their strength to overcome adversity and work towards reconciliation, which is something our nation should also do and never forget. I'm grateful for the tireless efforts of so many in North Tulsa and in our state to make sure our children today and the generations yet unborn remember those lost and they understand the stain of racism and learn the powerful story of resilience and rebuilding. It's a great honor to be able to say to people that we have not forgotten about what happened. We've not ignored it. We've not swept it under the rug and pretended that it never happened. In this generation, we remember. We must also work to ensure the story and the history live on and are never forgotten. That's why this bill is so important. It's critical to note that in addition to the hundreds of Black Wall Street residents that were killed, the Greenwood neighborhood was burned to the ground, and that almost no substantial structure survived that tragic event just over 100 years ago. So this bill delineates the historic boundary of the Greenwood neighborhood as a national monument. The bill establishes in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a national monument unit of the National Park Service to preserve, protect, and interpret for the benefit of present and future generations resources associated with the historic Greenwood District, Black Wall Street, and the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921, and the role of each in the history in the state of Oklahoma and of the United States. This designation will serve as a catalyst for the resurgence of this economy and cultural hub of Tulsa while helping the country understand and learn from our shared history. With all new things, of course, there are questions. With an area that's already faced so much hardship, it's easy to understand why. This bill ensures that the Secretary can only acquire land or interest in land through donation, exchange, or purchase from a willing seller. We also wrote in explicit private property protection, so there's no change of zoning, no federal control of private land at all. Additionally, the commission established under the bill will make recommendations to the Secretary for the location of any signage or potential visitor center. The bill includes a narrow waiver of one provision of the Federal Advisory Committee Act, which governs the establishment and operation of advisory committees. Through the legislation, we craft language that both honors the Greenwood's past and protects its future. It's my hope that we can work to ensure that our children do not grow up in a nation that forgets their past, but also make sure it's not repeated again, to make sure all individuals are recognized and respected and every person has the same opportunity. I worked with my friends in North Tulsa for years to secure designations on the National Registry of Historic Places and on the Civil Rights Trail. Now we're one step closer to establishing a national monument. Monument not just to the tragedy that was May the 31st and June the 1st of 1921, but to recognizing a thriving community that was there for years and that worked hard to be able to come back and has shown their resilience. The historic Greenwood, Black Wall Street area in North Tulsa deserves its place among our nation's most significant historic locations. I look forward to the testimony and I urge support for the bill, and thank you for taking this up.